This message is a transmission that occurred on October 13th, 2011. And we often start out the messages with validations and updates from prior messages. On August 25th, 2011, message 21, they shared in the Cape of Peace, saying, I think I'm still on that hurricane. I don't know if this is that particular one or not. I cannot say that I'm looking at a hurricane. And it's that image that you see in TV. It's that big white swirly clouds with a little eye in it. That's what I'm watching. The swirly, swirly, swirly. I'm tending to think that I'm not watching this particular hurricane that's going up the East Coast. I think I'm watching another one that's forming. Okay. That's what they said about this one, this new swirly is going to be following a pattern. I think I'm looking at possibly a baby hurricane. It's just in its baby forming. Later on, we discovered that Tropical Storm Lee also went up the East Coast and caused so much damage in my old neck of the woods in upstate New York, especially in the southern tier. This is a transcript of this session with They, held on October 13, 2011. During meditation, it's become a regular thing with me asking They, what is it that you want me to know today? What is it that you need for everyone to know? Initially, it looked like I was looking at a person, and it's possible that the person was an angel. I don't know. It looks like an outline, and I could see the aura around this one person, and then it duplicated, and it became two people, with two people's auras, and then suddenly it was a number beyond counting of people, and their auras, and I heard them say, the heavenly host. And then I started to argue with them, because I thought the heavenly host sang songs, and they were not singing. They weren't saying anything. They more or less said, don't argue with us. This is the heavenly host. So I said, okay. From there, it was a very quick jump. And remember, they always work with symbols all the time. It was a very quick jump to showing me this thing on YouTube on the computer. I was reading a transcript in the little YouTube movie. And what they were trying to get across was, we've done good so far, but we're not done yet. They want to reach out to more and more, and I think that's what they were trying to show me. That they want us to reach out to numbers beyond counting. Then they jumped to this YouTube thing, and of course I argued and said, I haven't got a clue how to do this. They pretty much said, don't worry about it, we have it covered. Well, that was pretty mind-boggling, and I kept getting stuck in, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. And again, all I was getting was the reassurance of, don't sweat the small stuff, we've got it covered. Apparently, we are about, and I guess this is correct, because they are showing me steps. We are about to take another step up in the work that we're doing, that we have been doing going on 2 years. Actually, it's coming up on 2 years, who knew? These are all people that are going to be, all these numbers of people are going to end up seeing the YouTube. But I don't think it will be necessarily the first one, but it's going to be passed on and shared. Yep. And what I feel like saying now is, okay, that's a big enough assignment, and I want to stand up and go home. They are laughing. There's more to come on this, but they just are giving us a little corner of it. It has something to do with CDs. And this is our next step up. They are showing me the staircase and agreeing that it's a pretty big step, and they're showing me like these big marble steps. They're pretty much in agreement that this is our next step up. I'm looking at something that they have shown me before, and they are repeating it again. And this is the white tornado. This is not to be confused with the dark and scary ones that come in the spring usually. This is a good-sized tornado, and it's over the city of Washington, D.C. And it isn't necessarily just popping down into one street or one building, but it's popping up and popping down and popping up and popping down. In other words, it's covering. And what they are saying here not just the city, but the surrounding area as well. It isn't just the city of Washington, D.C., but it's also picking up quite a landmass around the city of Washington, D.C. The white tornado is not anything to be fearful of. It brings surprise. There is an element of surprise, as with most tornadoes, but where our traditional tornadoes bring havoc and destruction, these white ones are a promise. And these are saying the word promise of cleaning things up. It's just the opposite of destruction. So I would guess I would have to say creation. Wherever they, or whatever area they come into, they kind of clean things up a little bit, and then they start to create or recreate in a much more positive, in the light. They are recreating in the light. That is actually what the white tornado is made of, that they are showing me, is white light. So it's a white, beautiful, circling energy, and we all know about the white divine light, and we all know about that. And what this is just a power pack of energy coming into our nation's capital of the United States. I perceive this as being a very positive message. And by the way, going back to something that Celine said a while back prior to taping, yes, on occasion we will just use the recording that will be used. Okay, apparently there will be occasions when just the recording, the actual recording, which this is not it, will be used in the transmissions of the YouTube. Occasionally they give me symbols that I have to struggle with a little bit because I don't quite know what they are. They are leaves on some of these real southern trees down here in Florida that look like paddles. They look like round and oval and solid, and they look a lot like paddles. And that's what this is reminding me of, layer upon layer of these leaves, like somebody stacked them up. I guess I'm looking at a windstorm. I don't think the windstorm is a hurricane. I truly do not. But it's a windstorm, and it does look like it's knocking down a lot of fronds and these leaves off trees someplace here in Florida. Quite the windstorm. I do think it's south of Palm Coast, Florida. I'm now looking at a building, and again, I believe it's here in the United States, but it looks like it has Grecian architecture, or maybe Roman architecture. There are big white pillars out front that look like marble. Maybe lighter colored stone with these big pillars out front. They remind me of Grecian or Roman architecture. And there's a star coming up behind this building. It's quite bright. They are showing me the symbols for eternity, and it looks like the DNA strands, and I cannot swear to you it's a human being DNA strand that I'm looking at, but it's definitely DNA that I'm looking at, or I'm seeing. And these two things are being shown to me together at the same time. I'm looking at a magic trick, a magician's magic trick. I'm watching a magic trick. Of course, everything is always symbolic, so this wouldn't be just your run-of-the-mill magic trick. This would imply to me that there's some kind of sleight of hand taking place, the shell game type of thing. A magic trick where it's an illusion. The magic is an illusion. Apparently, we're still on this because what I'm seeing is this giant magician, and he's standing over what would be, if you were to look down at a house without a roof, that's what it would look like. Like somebody picked the roof off and said, okay, here's the house. But what he is doing is like moving the walls here and moving another wall there, and he's just playing with it. And every time he moves a wall, he changes the entire house, or at least the illusion of it. He changes this whole illusion of this house. What I'm feeling is this house isn't really a house at all. Again, it's all symbolic. It's this life that we are currently thinking that we are living. And the magician, who is actually us, changes the walls here and changes the walls there. And I think, and we think, we have something all new. And it's really all the same. And telling them that they are going to have to explain this better, because I don't think this is explained well. What this pretend house is an illusion of a house. I believe it's our concept of life and afterlife. The only magician that is there is actually us. We are one and the same. We are in the house, we are up above, we are the magician, we are all of it. It is all of us. And we say we move this wall from here and move this wall there, and we think we've got a whole new life. It's all the same. It's just shifting things around, and this is the exact same illusion. There is no other illusion, and it's just that. That applies to what we perceive of life. That applies to what we perceive of multiple lives, and whether we understand the time line or whether we understand the holographic way of all time is now. It's the magician, and it's us. I think they're winding up now, for I feel I'm in outer space. Thank you.